Have you ever wondered what people are really thinking beyond the words they speak? Imagine being able to understand someone's true feelings just by observing their body language. Whether it's in a meeting, a social gathering, or even with friends and family, mastering the art of reading nonverbal cues can transform the way you connect with others. In this video, we'll dive into the secrets of body language, revealing how simple gestures, eye contact, and subtle expressions can give you a deeper insight into the minds of those around you. Get ready to unlock the power of nonverbal communication and take your interactions to the next level. 1. Understanding the basics of body language. Body language is a powerful form of nonverbal communication that reveals a lot about a person's feelings, attitudes, and intentions. Unlike words which can be carefully chosen, body language often reflects our true emotions and thoughts even when we try to hide them. Posture. Open posture. An open posture, where a person faces you with their arms uncrossed, feet pointed towards you, and body relaxed, often indicates openness, confidence, and a willingness to engage. For example, in a meeting, someone sitting with their back straight, leaning slightly forward, and maintaining eye contact is likely interested and engaged. Closed posture. Conversely, a closed posture, characterized by crossed arms, legs turned away, or a hunched back, can signal discomfort, defensiveness, or lack of interest. For instance, someone at a social gathering who is sitting with their arms crossed and shoulders hunched might feel insecure or uncomfortable. Gestures. Hand movements. Gestures can emphasize points during a conversation or reveal feelings of uncertainty. For example, someone who uses their hands expressively while speaking is often passionate and engaged. However, fidgeting with objects, like tapping a pen or playing with jewelry, might indicate nervousness or impatience. Head movements. Nodding typically signals agreement or understanding, while a slow shake of the head might suggest disbelief or disagreement. Tilting the head slightly can indicate curiosity or interest. Facial expression. Smiling. A genuine smile, where the eyes crinkle and the mouth curves upwards, usually conveys happiness or friendliness. A fake smile, on the other hand, might involve only the mouth without reaching the eyes, suggesting politeness without genuine warmth. Frowning. A furrowed brow, downturned mouth, or tightened lips often indicate concern, frustration, or confusion. If someone frequently frowns during a conversation, they might be struggling to understand or agree with what's being said. 2. The importance of eye contact. Eye contact is one of the most telling aspects of body language. It can reveal a great deal about a person's emotions, intentions, and level of engagement. Direct eye contact, confidence, and trust. Direct eye contact typically indicates confidence, honesty, and attentiveness. It shows that the person is engaged in the conversation and is likely being truthful. For instance, in an interview, maintaining eye contact with the interviewer can convey self-assurance and competence. Cultural considerations. It's important to note that the interpretation of eye contact varies across cultures. In some cultures, too much eye contact might be seen as confrontational or disrespectful, while in others, it is considered a sign of respect and interest, avoiding eye contact, discomfort, or dishonesty. Avoiding eye contact might suggest discomfort, shyness, or even dishonesty. For example, someone who frequently looks away during a conversation might be hiding something or feel uneasy. However, it could also be a sign of introversion or social anxiety, so context is key. Cultural nuances. In certain cultures, avoiding eye contact is a sign of respect, especially when speaking with someone of higher status or older age. Understanding these cultural differences is crucial when interpreting eye contact in a global context. Blinking and pupil dilation. Blinking, rapid blinking, can indicate stress, nervousness, or lying. It might also happen when someone is thinking hard or trying to process information. Slow blinking, on the other hand, can indicate boredom or disinterest. Pupil dilation. Pupils tend to dilate, enlarge, when a person is excited, interested, or attracted to something or someone. Conversely, constricted pupils might indicate discomfort or dislike. 3. Mirroring. Behavior. Mirroring is a fascinating psychological phenomenon where people subconsciously imitate the behaviors, gestures, and expressions of those they are interacting with. This occurs naturally as a way to build rapport and create a sense of connection. Why mirroring happens social connection? Humans are inherently social creatures who seek to connect with others. Mirroring is one way we unconsciously communicate that we are on the same wavelength as the person we are interacting with. For example, if you notice that you and a friend are both leaning forward during a conversation, it's likely because you are both engaged and interested. Empathy and understanding. Mirroring can also be a sign of empathy, as it reflects an attempt to understand and relate to the other person's feelings. When someone mirrors your posture or gestures, it can make you feel more understood and comfortable. Using mirroring to your advantage, building rapport. You can consciously use mirroring to build rapport in social or professional settings. By subtly matching the other person's body language, tone of voice, or gestures, you can create a sense of connection and trust. For instance, if the person you're speaking with crosses their legs, you might do the same, but in a natural and non-obvious way. Avoiding over-mirroring. It's important to be subtle when mirroring. If done too obviously, it can come across as insincere or even mocking. The key is to mirror in a way that feels natural and unforced. 4. Microexpressions, the windows to true emotions. Microexpressions are brief, involuntary facial expressions that reveal a person's true emotions, even when they are trying to conceal them. They occur in less than a second, making them difficult to fake or control. Recognizing microexpressions, types of microexpressions. There are 7 universal microexpressions that correspond to basic human emotions: happiness, sadness, fear, anger, surprise, disgust, and contempt. These expressions are consistent across cultures and can provide a glimpse into a person's true feelings. Examples: happiness, a quick, genuine smile that reaches the eyes. Anger, a brief clenching of the jaw, narrowing of the eyes, or tightening of the lips. Surprise, raised eyebrows, widened eyes, and a dropped jaw. Practicing detection training tools. Spotting micro-expressions takes practice. There are training tools and courses available online that can help you develop this skill. These often involve watching videos of faces and trying to detect the micro-expressions that flash across them. Observational practice. You can also practice by observing people in real-life interactions, such as during conversations or watching interviews on television. Pay attention to the fleeting expressions that may reveal more than the person intends. 5. Context matters. When interpreting body language, it's essential to consider the context in which it occurs. Misreading the context can lead to incorrect conclusions. Cultural differences, gesture. Interpretation. Gestures and expressions can have different meanings in different cultures. For example, a thumbs up is a positive gesture in many Western cultures, indicating approval or success. However, in some Middle Eastern and Asian cultures, it can be seen as offensive. Eye contact. In Western cultures, maintaining eye contact is often seen as a sign of confidence and honesty. In contrast, in some Asian cultures, direct eye contact might be considered rude or confrontational, especially when dealing with elders or superiors. Situation and environment. Stressful situations. In high-pressure situations, such as job interviews or public speaking, people might exhibit nervous body language, e.g., fidgeting, avoiding eye contact, that doesn't necessarily reflect their true feelings or intentions. It's important to consider the stressors in the environment when interpreting these signals. Social versus professional settings. Body language can also vary depending on the social setting. For instance, someone might display more open and relaxed body language at a casual social gathering than they would in a formal business meeting. Understanding the environment helps in accurately reading the nonverbal cues. 6. Reading, verbal, and nonverbal. Congruence refers to the alignment between what someone says and their body language. When these two forms of communication match, it usually indicates sincerity. When they don't, it can suggest deception or internal conflict. Congruent communication. Matching words and actions. When a person's words align with their body language, it typically means they are being honest and transparent. For example, if someone says they are excited about a project and their body language is animated, with smiling and enthusiastic gestures, their verbal and nonverbal communication is congruent. Building trust. Congruent communication builds trust because it reinforces the message being conveyed. People tend to trust those whose body language aligns with what they are saying, as it indicates that they are genuine. Incongruent communication. Mixed tease. Signal. Incongruent communication occurs when there is a mismatch between what is being said and the body language being displayed. For example, if someone says, "I'm fine," but their tone is flat, their arms are crossed, and they avoid eye contact, there's a discrepancy between their verbal and nonverbal cues. This often indicates that they might not be entirely truthful or are withholding their true feelings. Interpreting. Incongruence. When you notice incongruence, it's a cue to dig deeper. It might be helpful to ask clarifying questions or express empathy to understand what the person is truly feeling. However, be cautious not to jump to conclusions, as there could be many reasons for the incongruence. 7. Listening to the tone of voice. The tone of voice, along with the pace, pitch, and volume of speech, can offer valuable insights into a person's emotional state and intentions. Pitch and tone high. Pitch. A higher pitch might indicate stress, excitement, or anxiety. For example, someone whose voice rises in pitch during a conversation might be feeling nervous or enthusiastic about the topic being discussed. Low pitch. A lower pitch often conveys calmness, confidence, or authority. For instance, a person speaking in a low, steady tone might be perceived as more credible and in control. Monotone. Speaking in a monotone voice, where the pitch doesn't vary much, can suggest boredom, disinterest, or fatigue. It might also indicate that the person is trying to keep their emotions in check. Pace of speech. Fast speech. Speaking quickly can indicate nervousness, excitement, or eagerness. Someone who rushes through their words might be anxious or passionate about what they're discussing. However, it can also be a sign of dishonesty if the person is trying to gloss over details. Slow speech. A slower pace might suggest thoughtfulness, hesitation, or reluctance. It could also indicate that the person is carefully considering their words, which might be seen as a sign of sincerity. Pauses and silence. Strategic pauses or silence can be powerful in communication. A pause before responding might indicate that the person is thinking carefully or is unsure of how to answer. Silence can also be used to convey discomfort or to emphasize a point. 8. Common body language, signals, and their meanings. Understanding specific body language signals can help you interpret what someone might be feeling or thinking in a given moment. Crossed arms. Defensiveness. Crossed arms are often interpreted as a sign of defensiveness, resistance, or discomfort. The person might be trying to create a physical barrier between themselves and something they find threatening or uncomfortable. Comfort. However, some people cross their arms simply because it's comfortable or because they are cold. It's important not to automatically assume negativity from this gesture. Context is key. Hands on hips confidence or aggression. Hands on hips can convey confidence, readiness, or assertiveness. It's a posture often associated with taking control or preparing for action. In some situations, it might also be seen as confrontational or challenging, especially if combined with a stern facial expression. Readiness. This gesture can also indicate that someone is ready to take action or is waiting for something to happen. For example, a manager standing with hands on hips during a team meeting might be signaling that it's time to move forward with a plan. Touching the face. Uncertainty or dishonesty. Touching the face, especially the nose or mouth, can be a sign of lying, nervousness, or uncertainty. It's a subconscious attempt to cover up or hide something. For instance, someone who frequently touches their face while speaking might be feeling anxious or hiding the truth. Deep thought. On the other hand, touching the face can also indicate deep thought or concentration. Someone might rub their chin or rest their face on their hand while pondering a question or considering their response. Leaning in or away engagement. Leaning in towards someone during a conversation typically indicates interest, engagement, and receptiveness. It shows that the person is actively listening and involved in the interaction. Discomfort or disinterest. Leaning away, on the other hand, might suggest discomfort, disinterest, or a desire to distance oneself from the conversation. For example, if someone suddenly leans back and crosses their arms, they might be reacting negatively to what was just said. 9. Practicing and improving your skills. Reading body language and understanding nonverbal cues is a skill that can be developed over time with practice and awareness. Observe and reflect. People watching. Spend time observing people in various settings, such as at a coffee shop, in a meeting, or on public transportation. Note how their body language changes depending on the situation, who they are with, and what they are doing. Reflect on how their gestures, posture, and facial expressions align with their actions and words. Personal reflection. Pay attention to your own body language as well. Consider how you feel in different situations and how your body language reflects those feelings. This self-awareness can help you better understand others. Engage in active listening, full attention. Active listening involves fully focusing on the speaker, observing their body language, and listening to their words without interrupting. This helps you pick up on subtle cues that might be missed if you are only partially engaged. Clarification and empathy. When something seems off or unclear, ask clarifying questions or express empathy. This not only helps you understand better, but also shows the other person that you are genuinely interested in their thoughts and feelings. Ask for feedback, honest insights. If appropriate, ask others for feedback on how they perceive your body language. This can provide valuable insights into how you come across to others and what signals you might be sending unintentionally. Professional coaching. Consider seeking out professional coaching or training in body language and communication skills. This can provide structured learning and personalized feedback to help you improve. 10. Ethical considerations. With the ability to read body language and nonverbal cues comes a responsibility to use this skill ethically and respectfully. Respect privacy. Avoid manipulation. While understanding body language can give you an advantage in communication, it's important not to use this knowledge to manipulate or exploit others. Always approach interactions with empathy and respect for the other person's feelings and boundaries. Consent and boundaries. Be mindful of people's boundaries, both physical and emotional. Not everyone is comfortable with being closely observed or analyzed, so it's important to use your skills with discretion and care. Avoid jumping to conclusions, context, and nuance. Body language is complex and often influenced by many factors, including cultural background, personal habits, and the specific situation. Avoid making snap judgments or assumptions based solely on one or two nonverbal cues. Open communication. When in doubt, it's always best to ask rather than assume. Open and honest communication can prevent misunderstandings and build stronger relationships. Conclusion. Reading people's minds through their body language is an art that requires a combination of observation, empathy, and practice. By understanding the nuances of nonverbal communication, you can gain deeper insights into the thoughts and feelings of those around you. Whether in personal relationships, professional settings, or social interactions, this skill can enhance your ability to connect with others and navigate complex situations with greater ease and understanding.